All right, today we're going to be breaking down a review of the full focus planner. So I'm going to first be covering kind of who is this planner kind of targeted for in terms of marketing. I'm going to give you an overview of how the planner is structured. Then we're going to take an actual deep dive in looking at specific pages in here. And then I'm going to kind of give my recap of my thoughts on it in terms of who it is best for, who it may not work for, and kind of give it an overall review. So let's dive in here to the full focus planner. The marketing behind this planner, it's advertised as, and I quote, all the space you need to set and achieve your daily goals. Their marketing is very corporate structured and, dare I say, very masculine style marketing as well. It is very goal oriented. They use terminology like crush your goals. And when you just go and look at the website, it definitely is geared more for a traditional corporate type of a lifestyle. Now, the Full Focus Planner advertises what they call their simple 3-step system. So step 1 is defining your annual goals. Step 2 is taking these 10 or 12 goals that they have you set and break them down into quarterly and then weekly objectives. And then step 3 is taking daily action where you focus on your top 3 priorities every day. There are size options. The one I have here, I believe, is their most popular size. And they do offer it bound like this or coil if you like the ones that can like really truly lay flat. I do love that it has not just one, but actual 2 bookmark things in here, which I think is fantastic. And in terms of layout options, there are no options. They stick to their system, and I really respect that. So the interior of your Full Focus Planner is going to look the same no matter what size or foil or etc. that you get. All right, so first I'm just gonna kind of walk you through what the overall structure is inside the Focus Planner, and then we'll do a deep dive where we actually zero in and look at each one of these so that we can see what this is all about and how these components work together. It starts with your goal setting process. So there's a whole thing where you create your annual goals and you break them down. Then there's a series of pages that are 3 monthly calendars. Notice I said 3. It's important to know the Full Focus Planner is only for 1 quarter. So you actually need to have 4 of these books to have a planner for the year. So after the 3 monthly calendars, there's a section called your rolling quarters. Again, I'll be showing you this in great detail here in a minute. There's a space then for daily rituals. Then there are pages for you to map out what you would consider your ideal week. And then it goes into a daily layout. So a full spread per day. And that covers you through the entire quarter. There are spaces for weekly previews and then quarterly previews. And then there's a place in the back for notes, sketches, indexing. So all of that is jam-packed in here. Now I'm actually going to show you what some of these pages are and break down kind of pros and cons of each one of these sections. All right, so the Focus Planner again starts with the annual goals. All right, and this is I believe, a great place to start, and it guides you through a process of actually writing your high-level goals, and then you move into pages where it has actual goal detail. So you're really going to be diving into breaking down this goal more. What action steps do I need to take? What are dates associated with that? So I really like that process. Now, on the flip side, they're having you set a lot of annual goals, 8 to 10. And I believe for a lot of people that can be a little bit more than maybe is realistic to bite off. Another con with this is there is no space in this annual goal setting to actually see the full year calendar. Remember, this is just a quarterly planner, to kind of map them out visually to figure out, is this even realistic with everything else that we have going on? And then finally, another area for improvement here is this is doing what a lot of planning systems do, where you do this goal setting, but then they don't really have a set process to take all the work that you do here and bring it down into the weekly, monthly format. So I love the goal setting process, but there's definite room for improvement in terms of lacking that visibility and integration. Next up in the planner is the monthly layouts. Now, a monthly layout is a monthly layout. Again, there are 3 of these. It's undated, which gives you a ton of flexibility, which is fantastic. I love that it's got space for the master projects there as well. But the problem is there's only 3. So with the full focus planner, there really isn't that ability to take one planner and look at your entire year, right? So for me, juggling school year and kids and all of that, I need to see all 12 months in my planner. If I were to use the full focus planner system, I am always going to have 4 books with me trying to move from book to book in order to just see the comprehensive year. So I really like to call that out because this is something that is definitely lacking, is the inability to see the entire year. Now, the next section of the full focus planner is what's called rolling quarters. I will be honest with you, I even went onto the website some as well and dug around. I have no clue what this is for, and they don't really even tell you. So I don't really have a pro to talk about with this section because it doesn't even help you understand what it's for. And so just kind of a waste of space. Next up is the section called the daily rituals. Now, I love this. I think it's fantastic to bring this into the planner. The idea is with here to think through what are some set routines. They have some for a morning routine, maybe a start your workday routine, a wrap up your workday routine, a go to bed routine. This is something I teach and promote a lot. And so I really like that they have this space here to remind you to really be thinking about what are some established routines, rituals, whatever you might want to call them, that you can put in place to maximize your efficiencies. The only con I have to this, but again, it ties back to their marketing, is that it's really talking about work days. So it's really geared towards routines, assuming you have a very traditional, leave your house, go to work, come back kind of a lifestyle. So that's really the only con, but the principle behind it is fantastic. Okay, next up here is the section to map out your ideal week. It's just a space for you to really brainstorm and think about, in a perfect world, what would that ideal week look like? Now, I love the idea of this because it really gives you the opportunity to think about, okay, if I didn't have distractions, interruptions, all of that, what would the ideal week really look like for me? So now we shift gears into the actual weekly layout section. So you notice that we'll have a page here for every single day, Monday all the way through the weekend. Saturday and Sunday each have their own separate pages. And at the start of each week, it has a weekly preview. Now I'm going to start with the weekly preview. It's interesting because in the planner itself, it starts right into your first day so your first week, you don't have the preview. But the weekly preview, what I really like about their weekly preview is something I teach as well, which is that you start by going back and looking at your previous week and really thinking about what worked well, what didn't, etc. Now, the one downside of this weekly preview that they have set up here and the layout as a whole is there is no one comprehensive view where you can easily go and see the times of everything you have coming up for your week. So again, here's the rest of the weekly preview. Sure, you can write a bunch of stuff there, but this isn't going to prevent you from overbooking. You're not going to be able to visually see how many hours do I have available? How many hours are already spoken for? Writing something in on Monday doesn't tell you, is that 6 hours? Is that 30 minutes? And then obviously, as we go through the layouts, this is fine for a full spread, a place to take notes. But again, what are you going to do with all those notes? And then, the main focus here with their planning principles are identifying your top 3 for the day. I personally am not a fan of top 3s for the day because it's disjointed. You're writing in your top 3 priorities. You've got some notes. Maybe you've got your appointments set up here. But where is the space to understand, is today even a day that you have the space to tackle one of those top 3 important tasks or not? And where in here are we even tying this back to all of those goals that you set out at the beginning of the planner? Now, at the end of the all of the weekly layouts and everything, they do have a quarterly preview. And again, I love this because this is the opportunity for you to go back and review the last quarter and really outline, what are my biggest wins? What are my key takeaways? What do I want to keep doing? So I am a huge lover of any planner that gives you that space and reminder to really hold a retrospective, to go back and look at what you've been doing to help you understand what to change, what you can do better, etc. And then at the very end, it's got a place for notes, which again, when are you ever gonna go back and use that? It's got a place for sketches, which I thought was interesting, but I think kind of useless. It's just a couple pages at the back. And then an index. I'm very unclear on what the purpose of the index would be. Because again, I believe a planner's job is to tell you what you should be doing and when you should be doing it. But I feel like this is trying to encompass so much, which is why you'd have to have 4 of these in order to have everything that you need for the year. All right, so kind of want to recap and just give a overall recap of it, and then give you my thoughts on who this would work for and who it's not going to work for. So as a woman, if you are looking for a planner, the pitfalls that you are going to run into if you choose to use the Full Focus Planner is, again, number 1, you're going to be carrying 4 planners with you all the time. You might be able to get away with 3, but if you have kids and you're always needing that whole school year calendar with you, you're going to be lugging multiple ones of these around, which means you're going to need to find some way to label it to easily know which one has the information that you need. I do believe a daily style of planning like this will 100% not help you stay overbooked and overwhelmed. There is no easy visibility into seeing how much time is already spoken for to help you better understand what to say yes and what to say no to. So this planner for women today, it is not going to help you get out of a state of overwhelm, and this will likely still contribute to you being overbooked and overscheduled. The other part that gets really challenging with this is seeing a clear map out of how to get those longer term projects done. Again, it's got a great space up front for that goal setting and thinking through when you're going to tackle those, but without a good roadmap or visibility beyond zooming in on one day at a time, it is not going to support you in setting realistic dates, expectations, etc. Now, the key strengths of the Full Focus Planner. Number 1, it is beautiful. If you like, they have a lot of really, really nice, both coil bound and leather options. The quality is fantastic. It really is attractive. It's a nice size. I love also all of that looking back, those retrospectives that they had built in. Going back and reviewing your week, reviewing your quarter to help you better understand what's working well, what's not, and how to make adjustments there as well. And the section up front for the process of how they support you in breaking down your goals, I also think is really, really great. So those are definitely some strengths with the Full Focus Planner. Now, the main weaknesses, again, I just don't feel that this is a practical planner outside of a traditional office setting. If you are juggling a very full family life, lots of kids' calendars, schedules, and you need a central place to keep all that information, this is not going to serve you. And again, you can't even see the whole year out of you. So since I work exclusively with women on all things time management, organization, and productivity, while I love the idea of how, compact and everything this is, I have to say this is a hard no for any women out there that are feeling overwhelmed, that are looking for a planner to support them. I would not recommend getting the Full Focus Planner. Now, if you want to see some upcoming planner reviews, make sure that you take a couple seconds here and click the subscribe button so that you can get notified as we continue through our planner review series.